not eating food. You're eating what they could legally get away with. Your food is loaded with chemicals that are illegal in most developed countries. Why? Because the USDA and FDA approved them after heavy lobbying and payoffs from food and chemical corporations. The same food sold in the US is banned in Europe, Australia, Japan, because of what is in it. Examples: potassium bromate, used in bread, linked to cancer, banned in over 30 countries. Ractopamine, fed to pigs and cattle to make them grow faster. Then you eat it. It's linked to heart issues. Banned in China and the EU. Titanium dioxide, used to make candy and frosting whiter. Banned in the EU for being potentially genotoxic. Still in your snacks. These chemicals aren't mistakes, they're protected. Food lobbyists spend millions convincing regulators that they're safe enough. And the USDA often approves them without long-term testing. Meanwhile, corporations tweak recipes for overseas markets, removing banned additives. But here, we get the cheap version, the chemical version. One former FDA scientist put it bluntly: in the US, profits come before public health.
I want to turn now to a series of stories that we are doing this week on how U.S. food regulations have left American consumers exposed to chemicals and additives that have been banned in other countries. CBS's Holly Williams goes in depth to show us how some of these ingredients may be linked to cancer and other health-related issues.
From baguettes to focaccia, Europe is famous for its bread, but one ingredient is missing. Potassium bromate is a suspected carcinogen that's banned for human consumption in Europe as well as China and India, but legal in the US, where it's used by some food makers to strengthen dough and estimated to be present in over 100 products.
There is evidence that it may be toxic to human consumers, that it may even either initiate or promote the development of tumours.
Professor Eric Millstone is an expert on food additives and told us European countries take a much more cautious approach to food safety.
Can we say for sure that these differences in regulations mean that people in the US have developed cancers that they would not have developed if they'd been eating only in Europe?
I think that that is almost certainly the conclusion that we could reach.
It's not just potassium bromate, but many other chemicals and substances that are banned here in Europe over health concerns, but considered safe by the FDA.
Do you think most Americans are aware that they're being exposed to substances that are viewed as dangerous over here?
They probably just think, well, if it's available and it's in the store, then it's probably fine.
Stacey McNamara is from upstate New York, but has been living in London for 10 years. She told us raising children on this side of the Atlantic has opened her eyes to what's allowed in food in the US. She has no plans to ever move back home.
And is food safety a part of that decision?
For sure, yeah. How am I going to protect my children when it's just everywhere?
In a statement to CBS News, the FDA said that when used properly, potassium bromate converts to a harmless substance during food production. But at the same time, Nora, it acknowledged that not all potassium bromate may convert, saying control measures can minimise the amount in food.
Holly Williams, thank you.
But I saw her hair like the branch of a tree, willow dancing on air before covering me, under cotton and calicos, over canopied dapple.
Me, is fish supposed to do that? I honestly thought only hamburger meat did that. Fish not supposed to do that. I don't know if I want to eat this anymore.
Dear Internet, first of all, I soaked this meat in a vinegar, and yes, it changed color. Like, it went from pink to brown. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just the vinegar that got in there. But why is this beef holographic?
What happens to all the leftover meat at the end of the night? Well, I'm going to show you. It turns into this right here. And it turns into this, the marinated chicken. That's what it is. That's how it became a thing. Then when that stuff doesn't sell, you get your discount.
Eating a salad right now out of a Big Mac. Big Mac and French fry salad. I'm on a health journey and tonight I'm making a healthy choice. I got this salad maker. This isn't junk food, this is healthy.
I think America is really trying to kill us. Why the fuck is food healthier in the UK? I think I'm about to move to the UK. Damn, I just flung my shoulder. All that good food handed over. Cause this food here is making me slower. My mama won't listen to what I told her. How the hell y'all got a healthier soda? Quaker Mountain Dew, cereal, and some more shit. If we eat American food, we might as well say we eating horse shit. Everything is GMO. Everything unhealthy when I'm walking in the store. How the hell is watermelon with no seeds in it? How it's supposed to reproduce, it don't come with seeds in it. It seems like food is better everywhere else but here. So when I get organic food, please don't ask me to share. All the real shit expensive, why that makes sense? That makes me wanna go in Walmart and just take shit. I guess I gotta grow food or just leave the country. Make some fish shit and sell it to us, that's easy money. That is why in the US we can't think for ourselves. If I see some fake shit in the store, who do I tell? They poison in our church or do FDA know this shit? Or is they in on it, at least in all the course and shit? I hope they really know that this is some important shit.
What you're looking at here is the aftermath of a drumstick ice cream cone that has been sitting out for 22 hours now. I set this out yesterday at 6 or 7 p.m. and it's now 4:23 p.m. the next day. And this is the outcome. If you watch my previous video, you'll see how after about 2 hours, the ice cream didn't melt at all. So this is the outcome after almost 24 hours. And just think, your kids are eating this. Heck, I was eating it, but I will not eat it any longer. I will never eat these again. Sorry, drumstick.
This video has gone insanely viral after this person cut one of these drumsticks in half, let it sit out for 24 hours, and showed you how their ice cream wasn't really melting.
What you're looking at here is the aftermath of a drumstick ice cream cone that has been sitting out for 22 hours now.
Well, I actually wanted to try this experiment out myself, and instead of just showing you the drumstick, I wanted to show another ice cream that I had that is a known true ice cream brand and show what it looks like after the drumstick. Now, just so you know, this has been sitting out for just about 2 hours now. Now, this is the Tillamook ice cream. I just took this out of the freezer because I do like this, so I don't want it to melt. But this scoop has been sitting on this plate for 2 hours now, and as you can see, it is completely melted down. Now, on the other hand, this is the drumstick. I set these out at the exact same time, cut this one in half. This is the real drumstick brand, 2 hours, and it has not moved a bit. Why is this not melting like this? And what are they putting in our food?
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me no more. Shave it. DJ Mac. Shave it. Down, not grass. Shave it.
This is McDonald's French fries from the United States. It has 11 ingredients, but in the UK, there's only 4, and salt is optional. This one has an ingredient called dimethyl polysiloxane, an ingredient that can be preserved with formaldehyde, a neurotoxin. This is United States Fanta right here. It's made with high fructose corn syrup, artificial dye, yellow 6, red 40, and sodium benzenate. In the UK, they have real orange juice inside, and it's colored with carrots and pumpkin. In Skittles, there's 10 different artificial dyes here in the United States, plus titanium dioxide, an ingredient that's banned in Europe because it causes DNA damage. Gatorade, here in the United States, uses red 40 and caramel color. In Germany, they use carrots and sweet potatoes to color their Gatorade. M&M's has 10 artificial dyes made from petroleum linked to hyperactivity in children. Here in the United States and in the UK, they only use 1.
If you eat the typical standard American diet, you're going to be sick. The first thing you have to do, you have to get people to understand that we're living in a society today, like America's food is banned in most other countries. The chicken is banned in other countries because it's cleansed with chloride, which is a carcinogen, okay? The pork is banned in other countries because they feed pigs ractopamine, okay? You can look that up too. There's so much of our food that is banned in other countries. It cannot even be sold in other countries. Cannot be sold in Europe, cannot be sold in China, cannot be sold in Japan. It's banned. So when you start to help people understand, if you eat the typical standard American diet, you're going to be sick. This is why 70% of the population is on a prescription drug and 75% is either overweight or obese. You're literally eating toxins, but you don't know it that way because you don't understand chemistry. When you go to the supermarket and you're buying your food and you turn it on this label and you're looking at that label and half of it sounds like chemistry, you don't know what that is. You don't know what that's doing to you. So the mentality pro is to help them understand real recognizes real. Real food, your body is going to recognize it. It knows exactly what to do with it. But when you put an abomination, a man-made product that is called food in your body has to figure out what it is, what to do with it. And most of it ends up just sitting here because the body can't figure out what to do with it and it can't process it out. So this is why most people are constipated. So they end up having 10 to 25 pounds of undigested food, fecal matter just rotting in their gut.
This easy-to-read book is packed with information that enables the reader to intelligently embrace a lifestyle that works with the body's amazing ability to heal itself. The body can self-heal by its very design, and you can design a program that will enable the body to do the very thing it was made to do, heal itself.
Messes me up more than alcohol, eating food from a place where you don't know what kind of oil they use, because why does my stomach feel like it has a brick in it? It's like non-digestible oils that they're using. I've been up since 4 a.m. It's now 6:45. I passed out because the oil just made me shut down. My whole body shut down. I was like literally. And then we went out and paid for that. This is why you can't trust these places. That's why I like making food out.
I go to Italy and I'm like, oh my God, I could eat pizza and gelato every single day and I lose weight and feel great.
In 2018, I was diagnosed as a pre-diabetic, which means that I was on the verge of diabetes, but I didn't actually have diabetes. And that was because my diet was bad. I was not eating anything healthy at all. And even when I did eat healthy, my health wouldn't really improve like that. So on top of my doctors telling me to adjust my diet, I was even prescribed metformin at one point, which is to lower blood sugar. Anyway, that summer I went to Ivory Coast to go visit family, and I ate considerably greasy food. You know, I ate grilled chicken and fried plantains and lots of stew. And I also ate a lot of carbs like cassavas or what we call achike. I also probably drank more Fanta than water. But despite all that, what I noticed on the trip is that my skin, it cleared up. After the trip, I returned back to the States. I had a physical. I did a bunch of tests and etc. I was really scared that my health got worse because of what I ate. But bro, I'll never forget this. When I got my results back, my doctors told me that my health improved and that I lost weight and that I should continue what I'm doing. What? That's what I knew. America's food is killing us, yo. I'm about to move out of here for my health.
I'm currently out of the country, and when I say country, I mean the United States. So naturally, I've been eating food from the country I'm in, and I've noticed a difference. And I've heard people say this. One thing, I don't get as hungry as I normally do. Like, in the US, I feel like I'm always snacking, I'm always eating, I'm always like wanting to eat more food. But here, I don't feel that way. And this might be a little bit TMI, but when I go number 2, it doesn't smell bad, as it normally does.
I don't want to eat anything anymore, and it's not in an eating disorder way. It's in a everything is made out of chemicals and tastes like plastic now way. I don't know what's been going on the last few months, but every next meal just tastes more and more synthetic than the last. It's disgusting. I'm I'm literally sitting here. I'm very hungry, and everything I'm going through my brain that I could possibly eat, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. All were my favorite foods a few months ago. That and just choosing what to eat. Do I want the cancer-causing chemicals, or do I want the chemicals that are going to cause my blood not to clot in 5 years? I make jokes with my roommate all the time about how I wish I could just have a cube of nutrients that would keep me alive. I would take my little foodie cubie and be good. And I'm lazy. I cannot be Nora Smith. I will keep purchasing the food and eating it to stay alive, but I'm not happy about it. Once again, not in an eating disorder way. I have a healthy relationship with food. All the food is nasty. All the food is poison. That is my problem. The food is trying to kill me.
Americans, what is really in our food? Especially the fruit. They encourage us to eat healthy. I bought this apple 2 months ago, and I've just let it sit there. And it still has not changed at all. 2 months. Now, I remember a while back, you buy apple, it turned rotten. Y'all, I'm going to cut it in a minute. But while I'm having this conversation, I saw a young lady do a video about she went to another country and ate, and she felt good. She felt healthy. She didn't feel sick. She didn't feel bloated. She went for 2 weeks, and as soon as she came back to the United States and ate, her stomach was drastically bloated. And when I looked in the comments on that video, I saw a lot of people from America have gastro trouble about the food and the fruit and everything that they're eating. So do y'all think American food is really healthy? Because y'all do know a lot of stuff that we eat here is forbidden in other countries. How did this apple last so long? Now, I grant you it's not in the 100% state, but for 2 months. So, I cut it. Looks fairly crunchy. Looks pretty normal. And this been sitting out, not in the refrigerator. 2-month-old apple. Is this really healthy for us? What could this be doing to our body? Y'all drop in the comments and tell me what y'all think about this.
We in trouble. Since 2008, the government, USDA, FDA have approved cloned meat, and you don't have to even label it. Chicken, right? They won't allow that to be cloned, but it can be a GMO, and that doesn't have to be labeled. So chicken wings, GMOs, don't have to tell you. Meat can be cloned, goat, beef, and they don't even have to tell you. You don't believe me? Well, watch this.
The Food and Drug Administration has ruled that meat from cloned animals is safe for human consumption and has approved cloned animals for introduction into the food supply. On the same day that the FDA made that announcement, the Department of Agriculture came out and said, yes, but please don't do it. Don't bring that food into the food supply because it's going to cause a lot of trouble. People don't want it. A lot of consumers have moral, ethical, or religious feelings about the cloning of animals. They just don't think it's a good thing to do. They don't think it's natural. They don't trust it. They don't want it. It's very hard to know what the direct benefit to consumers will be of doing this kind of thing. We have plenty of meat available. We're not lacking for meat in this country. Why would you want to introduce something that people have moral, ethical, or religious concerns about? The FDA is by law required only to consider safety issues. And the FDA says that this meat is safe. Just because it's safe doesn't, or even if it's safe, let's grant them that it's safe. Although I think it's very hard to know one way or the other. But let's grant them that it's safe. It still doesn't mean it's acceptable.
And if you ask yourself, why would they do this? Because you just heard that lady say that there is plenty of meat, right? And I've done the research. It's plenty of meat, right? Why would they be doing this? Because they can get a patent on their cloned animal. They can get a patent for that, right? And not only that, the supply chain of food is tightly controlled, right? The distributors, Cisco and Safeway, all them, they're basically controlling the supply chain with their buddies. So it's just a cycle of money for their buddies who have the cloned animals on how the food shows up at our Jewel, at our Mariano's, at our Piggly Wigglies, at our Kroger's, or whatever grocery store you at. That's a way for them to control it. Because guess what? It's a lot of people in suits making the decisions on what you can buy, your options. And if their buddy has a cloned cow and these burgers and this milk that they want you to get, then that's what you gonna get. It's time for everybody to get their own farms, their own. No more mass production, because look what this has gotten us. Cloned fruit, cloned vegetables, cloned meat, and they don't even have to tell us, because guess what? The FDA and the USDA is considering it non-GMO. When is something being cloned not a GMO? This makes no sense. But to them who got the deep pockets, it makes perfectly sense. They just forgot to tell all of us.
But cloning a beef, cloning anything is obviously really expensive. It's not a cheap thing. So you're not going to clone a beef and then send it to the slaughterhouse, right? So what they're doing is they're cloning beef and then using those as like breeding cows, or often they'll do it with dairy cows, right?
So the Trump administration basically fired all international food inspectors for the FDA. There is basically nobody from the FDA that is going abroad and inspecting foreign food facilities. Food safety experts have said that there's an increased risk of outbreaks and that, this is their quote, it's only a matter of time before people die. And by the way, they were already extremely inadequate, right? We've had many products that were imported over the past few years that have had like massive contamination, right? So for example, all of like the radioactive shrimp, or how about all the lead in the applesauce pouches, right? All of those were imported and they weren't really inspected even then when we had the staffing. Just so you know, this impacts over 15% of the total food supply. I don't really even believe that number. I actually believe it's a lot higher because though that number is from a number of years ago. Things like salt, spices, right? Which is, by the way, where the lead contamination came from those applesauce pouches. The share of imports vary significantly between different product types as well. The share of imported foods has actually been on the rise. In 2022, it actually showed that it was around 17.3% of all of our foods. And that is because it is cheaper to grow and process things in other countries versus the United States. There aren't really any food safety inspectors here in the United States either, because they've also been fired or they're not getting reimbursed for their travel to visit said facilities. They know that there's about $1 million in unfulfilled reimbursements. Again, no matter who you voted for, these food safety inspections, whether they're on imported foods or foods here in the United States, well, that hurts all of us. And it doesn't matter who you voted for or where you live. It's only a matter of time, according to experts, that people get sick, are hospitalized, or even worse.
PSA from your chronically online friend. There are mass reports for the last month of people claiming that their food is not right in America, that their meat is mush, that it seems lab grown, and there are countless videos of people saying, are you just hungry, but nothing's hitting anymore? Are you not hungry because food is just causing you to be sick now? There's a serious fucking problem right now.
My father-in-law went to the Dominican Republic, right? He lasted there maybe a month or two. I'm not entirely sure. I need to say this. He's not the best eater. He's not the most clean eater. He went to the Dominican Republic, and when he came back, he lost I'd say 20, maybe 30 pounds. Noticeable enough for me to be like, holy shit. It's in the food. It's in the food.
You guys don't want this to happen. Hi, my name's Cricket. I worked for over a decade in a meat processing plant. And I just have to tell you, there are 3 ways to run a meat processing plant. Number 1, the way that the government tells you that you have to ensure that as few people get sick as possible. The second way is to adhere to as many of these regulations as possible while still trying to get the bottom line that corporate wants you to get. And the third way is basically just sending unsafe products out the back door because it costs less money to the plant and gets them more money in the long run. And trust me, you do not want that third thing to happen. The way that we ran the multiple plants that I worked in throughout my career was to make sure that we were adhering to the rules just enough that we could get by, because we still had to meet that bottom line that corporate wanted us to meet. And let me tell you, the number of shortcuts that are taken to meet the regulations while still meeting the bottom line, ooh, y'all don't want to know about them, because you'll never eat meat again. So without these guardrails in place from the government to force plants to operate in a way that's going to get as few people sick as possible, guess what's going to happen? You're right. E. coli, salmonella, listeria, all of the fun diseases that you definitely do not want to get. And that you definitely will get if you allow plants to just kind of make their own rules. Because I cannot stress this enough. Every single regulation that has ever been put on the books was put there because somebody died or they got seriously injured in the process. Those regulations are not there to make it more difficult to do business. They're there to protect you, the consumer. Because in this capitalistic society that we have, corporations do not care about anything but the bottom line. And if they have to pay out a few $100 million in lawsuits when people get sick, it's still cheaper than following the rules. So all I can say is, please make sure that you handle and cook all of the meat coming out of processing plants appropriately so that you do not get sick, because I guarantee you, this is not going to work out well for anyone. Anyway, love y'all.
Now that I had time to assess the situation, y'all know how President Putin came out and said that he has proof the American people has been getting fed human unbeknownst to them. So therefore, we've been getting fed human without us knowing. And I personally, my opinion only, you ain't gotta get mad at me. You can disagree with me respectfully, but I feel like if you eat ass, you can't really complain about eating human. Technically, you already eating the nastiest shit that a human can produce in the first place. At least if you go out to go... At least when you're going out to go get it, it'll be well cooked and seasoned. But on a real tip, and thinking of tips, does that mean instead of rib tips, we've really been eating fingertips? No, truly, if Putin does have proof that we've been getting fed human all of this time, I definitely want to see the proof. I got to see the proof. I got to be truthful, though. I don't know how I would handle the proof. I think that I might throw it for about 3 months.
This chemical, what exactly is it and how does it affect our bodies?
Well, this chemical is called azodicarbonamide, and you'll find it in a lot of breads in the U.S. And Canada, but not the rest of the world. Actually, the rest of the world either bans it or will put you in prison or fine you $500,000 for using it. That's because there's the chemical, when heated, it actually degrades down into a compound that is carcinogenic, and the World Health Organization has deemed it an asthmatic trigger. It causes lung issues in workers who handle it, skin irritation, eye irritation. So this is a very dangerous chemical that's being used in our bread.
So this isn't just about the, I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me, the scam that is organic or natural. This isn't about that, right? Because
no, actually organic breads are not allowed to have this chemical.
Okay, because people talk about organic and natural and all that, and there's nothing wrong with science. That's what pasteurization, that's science, that helps. So every chemical in your food isn't necessarily a bad chemical, but you said this one in particular is, and it should not be in there.
That's right. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that you shouldn't eat plastic. This is a chemical that improves the elasticity of bread. It's just for appearances, really, and really to line the bottom line of the pockets of these big food industry giants like Subway. I mean, they were using this chemical because it was cheaper for them to produce the bread faster. So it's just a great thing that they've decided to finally decide to take this ingredient out after me writing about it for over 2 years.
All right. Well, Von, is it just about bread? What else? Again, many other foods, right?
That's right. It's in McDonald's, Wendy's, Arby's. It's in Thomas's English Bagels. It's in Sara Lee. It's all over the place. And really, the FDA should look at completely eliminating this ingredient from our food supply.
So then why would it, we were talking again, you said there are carcinogens in this food. Obviously, Subway is removing it. You said it's in different things. So then why does the FDA then say it's fine? Because it's used in foods all over the U.S.
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, the FDA isn't really regulating our food, and it's definitely not regulating this specific chemical. Actually, they have no studies on file as far as how this chemical affects humans. So I don't see how they can approve these chemicals for use in our food supply without any studies. And it's really sad that these type of ingredients go unregulated, but the food industry is in the pockets of the FDA, and that's probably why.
Let me tell you, everything is, you should have eaten that yoga mat with a little ketchup, or if you do a little steak sauce and soy sauce and mix it together, then everything tastes better. So I'm having a little fun with you.
Y'all are finally doing it. You guys are finally cracking the system. Fast food, the same system that's had America in the chokehold for decades, is finally slowing down. People are literally saying that it is now a luxury to eat McDonald's and some of these other fast food spots. After years of viral videos and warning you guys what these fast food places are really all about, you guys are finally listening. And now, because of us, this thing is going downhill really quickly too. It's not just McDonald's.
Talk food and finance. This morning's Money Watch, we are tracking a slump in sales for some of America's fast food giants. Their customers are cutting back on spending because the price of dining out has increased nearly 4% over the past year. Nancy Chen is here with a look at how fast food customers are responding. Nancy, good morning.
Hey, Nate, good morning to you. It is part of a daily routine for so many. A breakfast sandwich there, a salad to go there. But now, as their budgets are ballooning, more people are making food at home or even skipping out on meals altogether.
Of all the times you've made it at home, has it ever tasted like our McMuffin?
It turns out even McDonald's signature McMuffin isn't enough to draw customers in for the most important meal of the day. In earnings calls last week, the fast food giant and its rival Wendy's reported slow breakfast sales, especially among low-income diners, who they say are their core customers.
We're really talking about a fast food market, generally speaking, that is basically tanking right now.
Jonathan Mays is editor-in-chief of Restaurant Business Magazine.
Why are customers shying away from fast food breakfast?
Well, the low-income consumer in particular are concerned about the state of the economy. They've been frustrated by prices, hurt by inflation, and breakfast is just an easy thing to cut out.
But it expands beyond that.
New Chipotle Honey Chicken.
Fast casual restaurants like Chipotle and Sweetgreen also saw sales slow in the second quarter, year over year.
If you're seeing Chipotle and Sweetgreen reporting significantly negative same-store sales, that suggests to me that there are more consumers that are really sort of rethinking how often they're eating out at restaurants.
Still, Mays says that sales slump could ultimately be a win for consumers.
Now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits,
as chains are coming up with new promotions and menu items to lure in customers.
They have been introducing a record number of limited time offers. So yeah, I mean, they're really throwing pretty much everything at the wall to see what sticks.
Why is these people trying to poison our food talking about this is vegan?
I checked the ingredients on the package just to see what makes it vegan. And y'all, it has alcohol, milk, and eggs in it. And it says it's healthy for you, earth-grown. What is earth-grown about these nuggets? Nothing. So I went ahead and showed y'all the ingredients again. But when I go back to check my other vegan nuggets, this is what I see. They're basically just made from a bunch of bread and seasoning. But at least this one does not have alcohol, eggs, milk, and fish in it. So if you're trying to eat healthy, you need to watch out. They out here trying to kill us.
Do you ever think like, good God, I'm trying so hard to lose weight and I'm doing everything right, but it's so hard to make those good choices. I feel like there's something in the food. Let me tell you why I believe that. I came to America about 30 years ago. I was really thin. My whole family was thin. We were eating the same foods at home. We were not going out to eat at McDonald's. We were making everything at home. And we massively started gaining weight on the same food we would have been eating back home. Now, we were less educated than we are now, so we didn't know what was going on and we didn't know what to look for. Fast forward to today, and this has happened with 3 families I have helped come over from either Russia or Ukraine. Right now, I'm helping one family from Russia, and there's like 6 of them, and they are all of a healthy weight. Yesterday, I talked to them, and they're like, Lena, we're gaining weight. Like, we're all gaining weight. And like the mom, she's thin, right? And she's like, we don't know what's going on. So they started like looking at the food. For example, they noticed there's a lot of sugar in the milk. And compared to what they're used to back home, I'm not even talking about added sugar. I mean, it says that it's not added sugar, but compared to the kind of milk they were eating, tons of sugar. So they've completely cut out the sugar. She's trying to walk like 15,000 steps. She said, I wasn't really walking that much over there, but like now here I'm feeling like I have to keep moving my body in order to maintain my weight. There is something in the food. There are added things. There are things that change the way we feel hunger. I don't know what that is. I'm not a scientist, but just by basic example of seeing these people coming to America, always having been thin, and now all of a sudden being like, what the actual F is happening? This, my friends, is evidence, whatever that may be, that something is up. And I'm not saying they're just sitting on their butt. Maybe that's a factor, right? But I'm sorry. It's not that big of a difference in movement, and these people are trying to move their body, they're trying to do things, they're trying to get out and about, but something is in the food. And they're not going out to restaurants at all because they don't speak English and they don't feel comfortable going to a restaurant trying to order. So everything is home cooked. Everything. They don't bring in sodas. They don't bring in any of the like junky in the middle foods because they don't really know what it is. So they try to stay away from it. Yet still they are gaining weight. So if there's anything this story can tell you, my dear friend, it's not just you. You are not lazy. There's a food component there. I don't know what it is, man, but example, when I moved to Korea, I lost 40 pounds in the first 2 months. No, I was not walking that much more in order to lose 20 pounds a month, right? Something's in our food system, okay? And I'm not a conspiracy theorist person, but I just look at every family that I've helped come to America, and every time, about 4 months in, they're like, I don't know what's happening to my body. I don't feel good, and I'm gaining weight, and oh my God, what are we doing?